Hey, what's up, you all? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be talking about ticker symbol CTRM, CASTOR Maritime. The stock is closed at $1.11, down 10%, but it's a big thing for CTRM, so we'll talk about that. We'll review the stock price, we'll review the volume, we'll review the RSI, and do the technical analysis at a very high level. I'll also talk about the regaining Nasdaq compliance requirement for CTRM, so pay close attention and watch the full video. The second thing we'll talk about is what are the exact specific things needed to regain Nasdaq's compliance in terms of minimum bid price requirement. And the third thing we'll talk about is what's next for CTRM, that the stock is up for 10 consecutive days, about $1. I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own due diligence and research before you buy or sell any stock or CTRM. CTRM is a penny stock, and we have seen what happened today. If you take a look at the stock went all the way up to 85 cents. I got a lot of comments from subscribers, from viewers about like, oh, what's up, and will it regain the compliance or whatnot. So I want to say, please do your own due diligence and research so you can build the confidence if you have bought CTRM or any other stock in general. It's a stock market, it's volatile. We do not have really control over what government is going to announce and where the economical condition is going to go, or if there is a news around the bond and yield, or if there is news around the CV situation that is going on with the death rate, with the vaccines and all that kind of stuff. So it depends upon lots and lots of factors. Now, yesterday I did review the CTRM and I shared my opinion based on the technical analysis, based on my research, based on whatever the analysis that I was able to do yesterday, looking at the stock price and volume, that the stock, there is a good possibility that the stock can sustain about $1 level. Now, if you take a look, when the market was down, the stock went as low as 85 cents and it got back up to $1.11. So it is still within the compliance, and we'll talk about the regaining compliance in this video. Now, I'm not a financial advisor once again. Now consider subscribing to my channel. Click the like button on this video because I do a lot of research. It takes me a while. I put a lot of efforts to put this video up and share this information with you, so your like is very much appreciated. And also click on the notification bell if you have already subscribed. Now, without further delay, let's talk about CTRM. Now, $1.11, which is where the stock is closed. That's the closing price. Now, looking at how the stock was traded, look at on my screen right here, the stock went below $1 level all the way up to 86 cents, and after that it started getting back up. Now, when the market got back, especially the Nasdaq was always in red today, but it regained a lot from a lot of negative percentage points, and it got back up. The stock started trading at $1.12, and it almost sustained for the rest of the day, about $1 price point. Now, looking at the 5-day, the stock is down negative 7.50%. For 1 month, the stock is up almost 192-93%. 6 months, the stock is really high, 640%. The company is pretty new, as I always talked about. If you are new and if you haven't watched this videos on my channel, the company was founded in 2016. The company does have positive revenue, 2.79 million in Q3, Q2 2.59 million, in Q1 2.73 million. The company had enough cash in Q3, 37.64 million, but after that the company also raised capital. They also bought more vessels, and we'll talk about that. So the company has enough cash to run and operate the business. Now, looking at further into CTRM and the price, if you take a look at the volume did go above the average volume of 170 million. Today volume was 176 million. The stock traded between 85 cents and $1.12. The stock market was down. Lot of stocks, most of the stocks were in red today, at least at one point, and it regained back. If you take a look at the CASTOR Maritime's, their price, and it's not a small price, like from 85 cents to $1.12. It's almost close to 30 cents for a $1 stock. So it was a lot of volatility, a lot of momentum. Looking at further into the volume, if you take a look, the volume more than doubled from what it was yesterday, from 84 million. That was yesterday's volume. Today's volume was 176 million. Now, looking at the stock price, it did make a new low. We haven't seen 85 cents. The last that we saw, that price range was on February 8th. After that, we are seeing it today once again pretty low, 85 cents. However, the whole market was down. It got back up. The stock opened below $1 level. It was open at 0.9930. The high was 1.12 and it closed at 1.11, which is, once again, it closed pretty healthy, and we'll talk about that, why it's so healthy. Looking at the chart once again right here for 1-day chart, the RSI looks pretty okay so far. Now, once again, please don't quote me. Whatever happens tomorrow, it will be again dependent on how the market situation is, what are new announcements, and what's going on with the entire market, not just with CTRM. And CTRM may have impact as to what's happening with the market. Now, looking at RSI, it's 62. It is once again very balanced RSI. If you take a look at when the stock was $1.05, the RSI was as low as 37, and that suggests it's an oversold condition that helped the stock go up, as you can see right here. So the RSI is always correlates with what's the volume looks like and what's the overbought or oversold buying and selling, the way it happens. Now, looking at CASTOR Maritime, once again, if you haven't watched my previous videos, it's a highly hyper-growth oriented global shipping company engaged in seaborne transportation of a wide range of dry bulk vessel commodities along worldwide shipping route through their ownership of dry bulk vessels. They started a few months back with 5 or 6 vessels, I believe, and right now there are more than 12 or 13 total vessels. So what the company does is they keep raising capital, and then they buy more and more vessels. Now, the company believes that if the CV situation gets better, their business will have a hyper growth in their business, in revenue and their profitability. Now, looking at CASTOR Maritime, they got the 180-day extension from Nasdaq to meet the Nasdaq's minimum bid price rule requirement. What happened with that is they announced the receipt of notification letter from Nasdaq market granting the company additional 180-day extension. So the company had time to regain back the compliance and the compliance of minimum bid price requirement up until June 20th, 2021. Now, what company can do is, what the stock can do, the company can cure this deficiency if the closing bid price of its common share is $1 per share or higher for at least 10 consecutive business days during the second compliance period that they are in. Now, looking at this right here, so starting from February 19, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So the company has finished all 10 days consecutive business day requirement, and it is closed above $1 price. So technically they are within the range of regaining the compliance. Now let's take a look at the NOVN stock that recently regained compliance on January 29, 2021. As a result of, you want to pay attention here, as a result of closing bid price of the company's common stock having been at $1 per share or greater for at least 10 consecutive business days from January 14, 2021 to 28, 2021, the company has regained the compliance with the Nasdaq's listing rule 5550A2. Now, in addition to that, I also want to point out there is one more discretionary point right here. Nasdaq may, in discretion, require an issuer to maintain a bid price of at least $1 per share for a period in excess of 10 consecutive business days, but generally not more than 20 consecutive business days before determining that the issuer has demonstrated ability to maintain long-term compliance. In determining whether the monitor bid price beyond 10 business days, Nasdaq shall consider the following 4 factors. The first one is the margin of compliance, the amount by which the price is above $1 level. Now think about this, CTRM is right around $1 level. It's $1.11 the way it is closed today. But before that, it went about $1.73 almost, and it closed there as well. But it was pretty close to $1. So there might be, so we'll have to wait for what Nasdaq is going to do. The second thing is trading volume, a lack of trading volume. That's not the case for CTRM. Once again, we'll have to look for what Nasdaq gives in terms of guidance. The third one is the market maker, number of market makers quoting above $1 and the size of the quote, and the trend of the stock price, whether it's up or it's down. So there are certain factors before it regains the compliance. So we will have to wait until the company announces they get the letter for regaining the compliance and whatnot. So I wanted to share this, and I found this is pretty dated article that I was able to find, but it's a good thing to review. So I wanted to share this information with you. you that we'll have to wait for the official announcement that they regain the compliance on Nasdaq. And it's a great thing. If they regain the compliance on Nasdaq, that means they have more exposure in the stock price. And the last thing I wanted to also mention is the Form F3 that they have filed to raise more capital to prepare themselves in advance, that and the price is 700 million, that they can offer common shares, preferred shares, purchase rights, debt securities, warrants, purchase contracts, rights, and units. So all these things, the company can raise more capital based on the market situation, based on the stock price, based on the company's roadmap and what they want to do, where the company is headed. So watch out for that as well. I wanted to share the analysis and research I have done. Regaining compliance will be a great thing. We'll have to wait for the official letter from the company and or Nasdaq on that case. I hope you find this information helpful. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not an advice to buy or sell CTRM or any other stock. I'm just trying to share the analysis and research that I have done, and I hope that you can make informed financial decision. Thanks all for watching. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel. If you haven't clicked yet the like button, please click the like button. It helps me and helps support this channel. Thanks all. I'll see you soon.